Tonight, as the Cash for Honours scandal reaches new heights, Labour's chief fundraiser protests his innocence, claiming his arrest was unnecessary. Tonight, the PM might be wishing there was a little more clear blue water between them, as the man they call Lord Cashpoint vigorously protested his innocence from inside Colindale police station. Tony Blair's critics were already wondering if the PM could survive being inches away from a sensational twist in the Cash for Honours scandal. In a moment, we'll be looking at the wider question of what today's developments could mean for the Blair government. But first, here's David Grossman.
Can you tell us what is his role?
Michael's fundraiser for the Labour Party, and without him, we wouldn't have been able to fight the last few elections.
From the Nick to millionaires row in a single bound. Lord Levy may be home tonight, but he's not necessarily home and dry. He's on police bail, arrested after presenting himself at a North London police station this morning. Even last month, he was on public display inside Number 10 in his role as Tony Blair's Middle East envoy. But his other role, chief fundraiser for the Labour Party, has raised questions. It was Michael Levy's job to bring in the millions that New Labour needed if it was going to win elections and, crucially, break from being financially dependent on the trade unions.
It must be very worrying for Mr Blair, because there can't be anybody closer to him than Lord Levy. He was his friend, his tennis partner famously, his chief financier, his leading financier, and of course his envoy to other heads of government in the last few years. So he's very close to Mr Blair, and I suspect if they're talking to Lord Levy at some point, they'll want to talk to Mr Blair.
Lord Levy tonight gave a statement through his lawyer. He was, we were told, bemused to have been arrested. Downing Street's giving out a firm no comment tonight, but prior to his arrest, Tony Blair gave his full support to Lord Levy. So what did the police question Lord Levy about? Well, two laws are involved. The 1925 Honours Prevention of Abuses Act means that honours cannot be bought or sold. It's illegal. The second is the Political Parties, Elections and Referendums Act of 2000. That means that all donations over £5,000 must be declared.
Morning, Lord Levy.
Morning.
How are you?
Morning.
It was the 2000 Act that meant we knew just how deep Lord Levy's donors dug and how many received honours. But there was something else. Some businessmen offered donations but were asked to give loans instead. These could be kept secret. So how did we get to this point? Well, at the end of January, the government City Academies advisor, Des Smith, was forced to resign after a newspaper sting operation. He'd apparently told an undercover journalist that any substantial donor could expect honours. In the spring, the Lords Appointments Commission delayed 4 peerage nominations amid questions about undisclosed financial support. And in the middle of March, Jack Dromey, the Labour Party treasurer, sensationally announced an investigation into how his party had been funded. As treasurer, Mr Dromey was outraged about being kept in the dark about £14 million worth of loans.
Do you believe that Mr Blair himself is compromised by this?
I don't know, because I don't know from whom did the loans come, who secured them, and on what terms.
The next day, an MP for the Scottish National Party fired off a complaint to the police, starting the whole investigation.
Questions that were being raised in Parliament as well. I think there was a business question one day when the Leader of the House laughed it off, and this really infuriated me, because even before I was an MP, people have known of the relationship between cash and peerages, and to have it laughed off in Parliament, and for these people in government to imagine that they're judge and jury over this when the law of the land says something else. And then I discovered later that afternoon, actually the law of the land, the 1925 Act, the Honours Prevention of Abuses Act. I was pretty furious, and I sent the letter to the Metropolitan Police on the back of that, because I don't really like being laughed at by members of the government.
No one in Labour's laughing now. Some of its MPs want the party to open its books completely.
Full transparency, meet the police now and inform them on everything that's gone on.
Really, do you think that there is something that smells bad?
It's a complete mystery.
What do you think the reaction is on the backbenches to this?
I think a lot of people are very disturbed. Our party was founded by ordinary people and ordinary trade unionists in order to ensure parliamentary representation for the ordinary people. We don't want politics sold to the richest and most powerful in the land. This investigation has got to go all the way.
There is something that smells bad.
It's a complete mystery.
What do you think the reaction is on the backbenches to this?
I think a lot of people are very disturbed. Our party was founded by ordinary people and ordinary trade unionists in order to ensure parliamentary representation for the ordinary people. We don't want politics sold to the richest and most powerful in the land. This investigation has got to go all the way.
Feel that that is happening now?
I hope so. I very much hope so. The question here, the big question, is secrecy. That's what it is. £14 million worth of loans were raised by the Labour Party in 2005. Not a penny of them were declared to the Electoral Commission or to the Labour Party itself in September. The defence that this was just outside the accounting period is micrometer thin. You do not raise £14 million and then not tell an association like the Labour Party that you had done it. And then after that the questions are just so obvious. Why didn't they tell them? Why weren't we told? Why wasn't the Electoral Commission told? There's only one answer for that, and that is that they were being pushed off to another accounting period. By that time, they may very well have been turned from loans into donations. That is the point. And the whole point, as Martha just said, of loans rather than donations is you don't have to declare them. So there is a very serious question to answer.
There does seem to be some disquiet within the Labour Party about the activities of Lord Levy. Can you tell us what is his role?
Michael's fundraiser for the Labour Party, and without him, we wouldn't have been able to fight the last few elections in the way we did. And all parties have their fundraisers, and we need them. Fundraiser for the Labour Party, and without him, we wouldn't have been able to fight the last few elections in the way we did. And all parties have their fundraisers, and we need them. And in the end, you know, this is no point in people going after him. He does what is a very, very valuable job.